The first tool made for you as a left-handed person. When taking measurements, it's really important to extend the tape past the edge that you're working with. This edge is the one I'm measuring to, and it reads at a little more than 19 inches for me. If this case is too close to that edge, it's really hiding what's going on here. I could be off as much as a 1/16 if I don't extend that tape out. If you want to be super accurate with your tape measure, it's important to roll it. Remember we talked about the tape and how it's curved? What you want is whatever edge you're trying to read to be rolled over and touching the surface that you're trying to measure or mark. This way I have full contact with the mark straight to the surface. It makes it a lot easier to make a mark and keep it accurate. If this was rolled up this way, it creates a shadow and my lines and reference gets really vague. So we've laid our tape, we've rolled the edge flat to the surface. Now we need to read the measurement. I need to cite these marks and these numbers, and this is a really important moment in this measurement. I need to be directly over top of that measurement to cite it accurately. If I'm over here to this side, that measurement could read short. It reads about a 1/16 shy of 19 inches. If I read it from this side over here, it can be as long as a 1/16 too far. So that's 19 and 1/16. So reading it from directly above it or straight head on to it is the best way to cite a measurement. Accurate measurements with a tape measure depend on us holding or setting that tape up straight. What I mean by straight is not angled. This is a rectangle. This works with rectangles and squares. We can use certain edges and be parallel to them for reference to create the most accurate setup for a tape measure. If I'm crooked or askew, my measurement grows. I'm up to 19¼ inches there. If I straighten it out, it shortens to 19 inches. And if I'm crooked this way as well, it can get longer that way too. So what you need is you need an edge for reference. In this case, I've got an edge here. I can straighten out my tape to it and feel pretty confident that this is going to be an accurate measurement. If you're struggling with finding or citing that parallel condition, what you can do is swing your tape measure back and forth. If you have a rectangle or a square that you're measuring, the shortest measurement will be the accurate one. All of our measurements fall into two categories. That's a pull measurement and a push measurement. So a pull measurement is when we take this hook, we find a hard edge, we place that hook on that hard edge, and we put tension on the tape. What happens, we talked about that hook moves a little bit depending on what kind of measurement you're making. So when we do a pull measurement, you can see how it shifts. And what that does is it places the 0 point on the inside of our hook. So what's happening here is the distance that this hook is moving is literally the thickness of this hook. So the 0 could be either on the outside or on the inside, and depending on whether we're pushing or pulling it, changes where that 0 point is. So make sure while you're doing a pull measurement, you're always keeping that tension on this hook so that it's the most accurate measurement possible. When we're doing a push measurement, we're using the standout or stiffness of the blade, and we're pushing that hook into a hard edge. You can see that movement right here. We need to add pressure to the tape to force that hook into this position. That puts our 0 point on the outside of our hook here. So a push measurement would start with extending our tape. We'll push the hook into a hard edge, and then we're going to extend that tape out to an edge where we can then sight it and read it. This measurement is dead on at 25 3/8. You might find yourself trying to measure in between two inside corners. You'll start this measurement off with a push measurement into one corner, and then you'll do a bend of the tape to sight the other corner. Let me show you how that works. So I will push this tape into one corner over here. I'll extend it out, and with tension on the tape, I'm pushing this tape into this corner as tightly as I can get it without breaking or crimping this tape measure. The better you get at this, the more accurate you can be. This is not the most accurate way to measure, but it is a good start. And I'm reading this at about 43 1/4 inches. A more accurate version of this